Plagus Curtius. Ahead of us here. Hi, John. All right, so it's going on 11 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. William Friedman with the Cross Country Local. A mission to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific, clear across the United States, using only local transit. And my friend Ben here from Morris County GPT is taking me from street corner in Lawrence. How does your route affect your sleep schedule? As for my sleep schedule, let's just say I'm a 52-year-old man with a 52-year-old bladder and a 52-year-old prostate. My sleep schedule is what it is, and it doesn't matter if I'm staying put or if I'm on the go. All right, so yes, oversharing there. I know. But anyway, Ben picked me up on a street corner in Lawrence and taking me to Wichita. Now, this is a sharp left turn for me. As I might have explained in an earlier broadcast, as far as I can tell, mass transit doesn't go much past Junction City, and somewhere between Kansas City, Kansas, and Junction City, I was going to have to head south because that's just the direction the buses run. And so this is the first of my southern trips. So you don't find yourself traveling at weird hours? No. Oh, hi, привет. I don't find myself traveling at odd hours. Very rarely I do, but most of the time, I'm trying to simulate a commute. Except instead of heading back east at the end, привет, Kansas. I try to mimic a commute. So instead of Привет, чувак. Smiley face. All right. Yeah, it still freaks some people out. Откуда ты? Oh, хорошо. Спасибо. Пожалуйста. Okay, how I know Russian is another question. We'll deal with that some other time. We have a Russian speaker in Chicago. Привет. Kansas, yes. Okay, let's hear all the jokes. Хорошая русский. All right. What happened is I did a little bit of spook work towards the end of the Cold War. I don't really want to talk about it right now. Okay. For our side, for the side that won, okay? All right, listen. I don't speak that much Russian, and I really have to concentrate to read Cyrillic. Without Russian and Turkish, you're lost on Periscope. Da, pravda. Anyway, so yeah, I'm heading south to Wichita. From there, I've got another ride to the Oklahoma line, and then I'm hoping to talk to someone at something called Cherokee Strip Transit to get me down to or near Oklahoma City. And from there, I'm continuing south to Dallas-Fort Worth and then southwest towards El Paso. And from there, skirting the Mexican border to Tucson, and then turning northwest again through Phoenix, Vegas, Carson, and then crossing into California at Lake Tahoe, and following Sacramento and Fairfield and Oakland and El Cerrito to San Francisco and the Golden Gate. All right, so As far as I can tell, if you MapQuest the distance from West Hempstead, New York, to Lawrence, Kansas, it's about 1,100 miles. I would say I've probably traveled at least 1,200, 1,300. Yeah, I'm worried about that too. If you account for the Brownian motion of my journey, because it's not been a straight line. Yeah, it's got to be about 1,300, 1,400 miles so far. Yeah, and I'm still staying true. It's been all local mass transit except for a couple of things. Okay. So you want me to speak Russian? Okay. Pavlov, Solzhenitsyn, Tchaikovsky. I'm now at the end of my Russian. Hello from the UK. Where in the UK are you? And I hope I have less difficulty understanding you than I did the Russians. If you're from East London, oh, you're from the West Country. Outstanding. Yes, Thomas Hardy territory, right? I have some dear friends in Glastonbury. And I'm about the only Yank who ever used the term Thomas Hardy in a sentence correctly, right? So anyway, I've stayed true to it. There have been a couple of gaps, most notably. I'm getting hearts for that. That's great. Call me Tess. So, let me tell you something. Ben and I were talking about the museums in Washington, D.C., and I have to confess to you that as someone who lived in Washington, very proud of my one-time hometown, and I'm a big fan of the Smithsonian. But I have to say the best exhibit, the best museum experience I've ever had, and I've had museum experiences throughout North America and throughout Europe. The best was the British Museum. Now, you walk in, and somewhere past the Japanese tourist wall is the Rosetta Stone, and I didn't really get a chance to see that. Nice rock. But then I went into the Nereid Temple, and was absolutely amazed. And then I went upstairs to an exhibit that I understand is now in the British Library. But there was this glass case, and there were these two manuscripts in the glass case. On the left side, in the author's original hand, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. On the right side, there was a manuscript, and in the author's original handwriting, there are places I remember in my life, though some have changed. Nothing's going to top that. Nothing. All right. So, anyway, there were a couple of places, most notably between Harrisburg and Lewistown, Pennsylvania, where the only way I was ever going to get across that gap was to have my host actually drive me from one bus stop to the other, span of about 60 miles. But outside of that, it's all been surmountable. I'm heading into some territory where I'm expecting about 3 10-mile hikes, and that's doable. That's half a day each. But I'm still a little concerned about how I'm going to get across the Sonoran Desert, but I still have close to a month to figure that out. So I'm going to get back to that. And again, William Friedman for the Cross Country Local, going from New York to San Francisco using only local transit. Please follow me here on Periscope. Take a second, follow me on Periscope. Take another second. Oh, thanks so much. Take another second and invite your friends to follow me on Periscope. And you can follow me on Facebook. There's a public page for Cross Country Local. There is also a GoFundMe campaign for Cross Country Local if you can help out materially. Lastly, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, It is hashtag XCLocal, X-Ray Charlie Local for Cross Country Local. So that's it for now. You won't be hearing much from me for the next few days, but Monday morning I'll definitely check in on the road to the Oklahoma line. In the meantime, I'll see you on the route.